Welcome to Fun and Games Side Quests. Every episode is a different host sharing a video game they love and why they love it.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Fun and Games Podcast, a side quest episode. I'm so excited to be here today. My name's Kate Hunter, also known as Katerblossom. I co-host the indie gaming podcast No Small Games with Emily Merritt, and we do really deep dives on indie games of any era, of any genre. And we also do monthly episodes that are called Indie Game Roundups, where we cover indie gaming news and new releases. And we've been doing this we're about to enter our third year, so that's really exciting. But I am here today to share about one of my favorite little games that has a lot of heart, and it's called Wide Ocean Big Jacket. So this game is developed by Turnfollow, and it came out on February 4th, 2020. And Turnfollow are the same developers who did Before the Green Moon, and they did A Good Gardener, and I'm just a huge fan of their style. So I'm just one of those people that, like, as much as I love a story with big fantastical worlds and larger-than-life characters, I tend to gravitate towards the shorter experiences and games that are really more slice of life. I really like being able to recognize and appreciate the beauty in the human experience, and I'm really interested in stories that romanticize the mundane a little bit and are able to sort of articulate the magic of simplicity and connection, especially via realistic characters and dialogue, which this game definitely does. So to set the scene a little bit, in Wide Ocean Big Jacket we have 4 characters. We've got Uncle Brad, we've got Aunt Chloanne, and these two are sort of like a childless couple in their mid-30s. And then we have Mord and Ben. So Mord and Ben are boyfriend and girlfriend, and they're like probably 13 or 14 years old, and Mord is Chloanne's niece. So I'll call her Aunt Chloanne just so we can keep it straight. But yeah, so it's just the 4 of them, and they have embarked on a weekend camping trip by the beach. So this is Mord's first camping trip, and at the beginning of the game she says, "I can't believe how far we drove just to be in the middle of some trees," which is so real and definitely words that I've actually said before. So right off the bat, the game is really nailing it with the realistic dialogue. And Mord is just very curious. She's sort of asking these hard-hitting questions that a 13-year-old girl would ask. She's like trying to figure out if there are ever situations where it's okay to lie to people, and if she can like take her relationship with Ben to the next level, to which he responds, "We went to the San Diego Zoo together on a school field trip." So Mord is sort of this like really exuberant and vocal person. She's really vocal about her thoughts and opinions. And Ben is a little bit more grounded, and he's matter of fact and serene. But he does really get a moment to shine later on in the game when it's time to tell ghost stories around the campfire. So I recommend that you play the game just to experience that moment. But basically, Uncle Brad and Aunt Chloanne are definitely giving off these like cool, young aunt and uncle vibes. So it's very clear that they care about each other, but they're also like super chill. So you can tell that they've been camping together dozens of times because they pull out glow bones from the trunk of their car. And glow bones is a glow-in-the-dark skeleton that they wrap around nearby tree to sort of identify their campsite in the dark. So they've done this before. They're definitely that like cool California couple with no kids that likes to do outdoorsy things, like almost like Patagucci, if you will. But anyway, so in this game, you can grab a beer, pop a squat, tell a ghost story, go bird watching, and even do cartwheels on the beach at night, which like, that sounds so good. Like I want to do that instead of going to the office, you know? And it's really just so simple, but it sounds really, really nice. And what's interesting about this game is it gives you the chance to play as or walk around as each of these characters. So that was something that I noticed right away that made it feel more unique to me, and it does a really good job at distributing the balance between this quad of characters, so they all sort of feel equally important to the player, and I quickly found myself caring about each of them quite a bit. So I don't want to give away too much more about the story and the characters and things that happen, but I just want you to know that this game is so funny and simple, but there are moments, just like our real lives, that pack a punch. So without spoiling anything, I will say that the game touches on complicated issues that many of us have experienced in our close and long-term relationships, and it does so delicately and beautifully. The moments with Mord and Ben really kind of read like a tiny coming-of-age story, and I think that Wide Ocean Big Jacket executes all of this with such care and realness, and there are even like a few moments where I caught myself tearing up. I also just think that mechanically the game is so approachable to navigate, and most of your interactions are walking or executing character dialogue, so you can finish it in like 90 minutes or less. And I highly recommend this as an introduction to indie games in general. The music is like this beautiful acoustic West Coast vibe, and it pairs really well with the gorgeous campsite and surrounding areas of nature in the game. So I hope all of that has you at least a little bit interested in picking up Wide Ocean Big Jacket. And now I just want to talk a little bit about me personally. So I did not grow up gaming. I've been gaming since 2021, and I was introduced into this magical world of gaming via Animal Crossing New Horizons. So I really did think that all games were shoot-a-man games, and I had no idea that experiences like Wide Ocean Big Jacket existed in the world of video games. And I have a theater background, so I'm really interested in storytelling, and I'm interested in a team of collaborators coming together to create something so personal and meaningful. And I think that that's why I'm always finding parallels between what experiencing a play feels like and what playing an indie game feels like. There's an essay that I refer to a lot when I start a new game and experience it. And this essay is by Eleanor Fuchs, and it's called A Visit to a Small Planet, Some Questions to Ask a Play. And it sort of opens with this really powerful sentence, which is, a play is not a flat work of literature, not a description of poetry in another world, but is in itself another world passing before you in time and space. And that's honestly how I look at games too. There are just so many amazing things in this article, like questions to ask. I kind of have translated it from questions to ask a play to questions to ask a game, or calling it a journey to a virtual planet. So I find a lot of overlap and crossover between indie games and original theatrical works. And I really do think that that is because it's a small team of people, sometimes one person, bringing their original idea together and presenting it to you using all different kinds of artistic mediums. So I just find that really fascinating and inspiring. And now I'm all in on indies. So I do think it's true that there's an indie game out there for everyone, no matter their age, interest, skills, or ability. And I think that Wide Ocean Big Jacket is definitely my arsenal of indies that can sort of introduce people to the magic of what a video game can be. As somebody who definitely still feels like I'm waking up, I feel like I'm being born for the first time when I started experiencing indie games in 2021, which is a really exciting place to be. I'm really grateful that there's a space for me in gaming, and I want to show other people that there are spaces for them too, and that there are games that can grab them and mean a lot to them. So all of that being said, I hope you'll check out my podcast, No Small Games. I have such a fun time working on No Small Games with Emily. It's really fun because, Emily's been gaming her whole life, and she's so smart, and she knows so many things about games. And, we do have different tastes. We have different tastes and styles and experiences, and I think we come together to make a really special team, and I really believe that. So I hope that you'll check us out. We also do articles and lists. You can find everything on our website at nosmallgames.com. I hope to be doing this for a really long time with her because, we just have an absolute blast. I also want to thank Matt for giving me the opportunity to do this. I think that this is such a special idea. I remember back when I wanted to start an indie game podcast, I was in my podcast research phase, and I did come across Fun and Games. There was a side quest about one of the Coffee Talk games that I listened to, and I was like, this is such a brilliant idea, just letting people come on to talk about their favorite games. So thank you so much for, doing this. Thank you for giving people this space to talk about what they love. So all of that said, I hope to hear from you soon, and happy gaming. Welcome to No Small Games, the indie gaming recap and review podcast. I'm Kate, also known as Katerblossom.
And I'm Emily. You might also know me online as The Specific Egg.
And we met streaming and playing video games on Twitch.
At No Small Games, we combine our favorite genres to experience everything the indie game world has to offer and share it with all of you. We believe there are no small games, only small game studios.
Each episode, we'll choose one indie game that we each played separately and discuss our playthrough experience together.
The good, the bad, and our most memorable moments. We'll follow our recap with a review and announcement of which indie game will be featured on our next episode.
We invite you to play each game along with us and would love to hear from you about your playthrough experience.
Hey, Kate.
Hey, Emily.
I hope that No Small Games brings everyone some big fun.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.